What is up, everyone? My name is Chris from Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Today, I am here to talk to you guys about the Anchor app. If you haven't heard about the Anchor app is the easiest way for you to make a podcast. Just like I did, you can create your very own podcast. The best thing about the Anchor app is, number one, it's completely 100% free to use. Number two, it is really easy to use. So if you're not good with technology, like my producer Lena here, this app is perfect for you. Number three, the app is available for download from your app store. The Anchor app provides certain tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. This means that additional recording software is not needed. Get it out of here. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms. Best part is you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So guys, open your app store, download the free Anchor app today, or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Conversing with Chris podcast. Check us out on Spotify, Anchor app, or Google Podcasts. Also, guys, go to the Facebook page. If you search under pages on Facebook, Conversing with Chris, the podcast, you'll see our page there. Make sure to give us a like, give us a share. Thank you guys for your support. Three, two, one. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Conversing with Chris podcast. Today is, what's today? What is today? Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, March 5th. Yeah. It is a beautiful evening here in El Paso, Texas, once again. We are in my garage. We are joined by Lena, and we are joined by Church, a.k.a. Misa, a.k.a. Misael. Say what's up to the podcast, guys.
What I do?
One of these days, you're gonna have to we're gonna have to start recording you and
what
see how long you can go for.
No, that's just that right there. It's just
I'll just loop it.
That's just
I'll cut out the ooh and loop it, and then we'll think he's going forever. Okay, so anyway, guys, episode 16 of the Conversing with Chris podcast. This is going to be kind of used as like a preview anticipation episode for episode number 17, which will be the Fernando Cuevas interview. He for people who don't know him, because actually Church is the one that booked him for this podcast. So shout out to you. Thank you for that.
Man. Got to bring him over here, man.
Yes.
Hey, you got to meet Chris. He's like, who's Chris? I was like, you'll find out.
You'll see. He's got a podcast. Yeah. Okay. So, so this is a preview to episode 17, which will be the interview with him. He was a former co-host on the, former co-host on the KLEQ morning show with Buzz Adams. So I know off the top of my head, I have a lot of cool questions I want to ask him regarding.
Yeah, man, it should be fun. Yeah, man. So he's a fun guy
regarding everything that he's been doing, everything that he's doing now, because I know he's no longer in El Paso. He's in Los Angeles. So we're going to get him remote from Los Angeles. We'll talk to him. And so you'll have, again, kind of back-to-back episodes with this episode kind of being the preview the episode that we're gonna do with him. Misa, church. I guess give me your thoughts of what you expect for us to do tomorrow with your.
It should
with
be
your
fun,
boy.
man. This guy's been a fun character on the radio for a while. I know a lot of people that know him, man. He's a funny dude. I know he's gone through several awesome experiences. He's met a lot of famous people. So
we're gonna get into
fun.
We're gonna get into all that with him. I'm really excited.
More interesting than any of us.
Oh, definitely. And also, it's just
he's got more Twitter followers than you, Ben. So
wow.
Shout
out.
I
don't do Twitter. Who does?
Yeah, I don't do Twitter either. I mean, Twitter's cool. I mean, a lot of people do Twitter, and honestly, I should probably do Twitter.
Accounts.
Yeah, I've had like 3 Twitter accounts because I randomly sign up for it. I think I'm gonna use it. I never use it. I follow like 30 people that it somehow knows that I know because of my phone contacts, whatever. So, but yeah, I'm never like, I've never been big on Twitter, even though I know Twitter is super big. And so I stick to the Facebook and the Instagram. I even kind of got away from the Snapchat because it was kind of just pointless after a while.
You know what? Snapchat was fun for me when I lived in San Antonio.
And then El Paso killed it for you?
Yeah. It's like same mountain every day.
Yeah. That mountain never moves, bro. That's funny. So, okay, let's get into this podcast. That's kind of like the preview we have for you, but we also want to talk about a couple other things that have happened since the last time me and Misa did the podcast. It did really well, actually. We hit over 100 views pretty fast. So
shout out to everybody that listened.
Yeah,
man.
Shout out to everybody that listened. I want to give Misa a round of applause. It's
Thanks,
greatly
man.
appreciated.
Thanks.
I was actually
needed some help. So
yeah, dude.
I thought
for
I'd come
sure.
rescue you.
I was over here in the podcast ocean, like struggling to stay afloat.
Hey, is that Chris in that garage over there?
I was like, I was like laying on a wooden door, floating in the podcast ocean, and I didn't know where I was going, but then out of nowhere, this beautiful cruise ship comes out. And it's the Misa, and then here he is, and so I want to thank. Yeah, I really want to thank you for that. That shit was dope.
It was fun, man.
Shout out to everyone who listened. I think you guys are gonna like this podcast, and you're also gonna like the podcast we do with Fernando, and then all the other podcasts we're gonna do going forward. So we have to announce that we are officially changing Misa's name from church. So no more church allowed on the podcast.
No more.
No more.
Church and state.
No more.
So it's not church anymore.
I've been invited to so many churches, guys.
It's Misa.
Yeah.
So we're not going to call him Misael. We're going to call him Misa. And we're going to play this game where I cannot I cannot call him church without having to pay a penalty. And we'll have this little fine system where every time I refer to Misa as church, that I will get fined and I'll have to pay a fine. And eventually, if I get fined that many times, then
we could do this for like a month. See how many times you mess up in a month.
Exactly. And then we'll see what we'll do with that money. We'll buy something for someone or something.
We'll post it, and the first person to comment on it will get a
another thing that we also have to think of is there needs to be a penalty for you and you at some point. So we got to figure out
he's not going to call himself.
No. That's not what I'm saying. If he says something a certain way, we have to find.
We go a whole podcast without swearing.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No way.
I will fuck up every time. Actually, no. I feel a lot more confident because you fucking suck.
Maybe one day, or for each pod, we can set a rule and be like, okay, if anybody does this, you're getting fined, and then that's how it will be. So.
I think and for those listening, keep listening, man. All right. Also, don't forget to go to the Conversing with Chris podcast over on Facebook.
Give us a follow, like the page. That way you'll get instantly updated anytime we post a new episode. Yeah, we're gonna have episodes coming out pretty frequently now. I think that's safe to say. So real fast, one of the things that. One of the things we wanted to touch on last time when we were talking about the good old days and being at Lincoln with all these friends that we used to have back in the day. I think Church mentioned that he had some stories from being an alternative that he wants to tell. So
alternative.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, because not everybody was an alternative. Alternative was part of the school, but you were like in there because you did something bad and you were like segregated. It's kind of like being in a little middle school prison.
Yeah.
And like you had
it was just getting
code.
you ready for a real prison.
Exactly. They're like, bro, you better straighten up or else you're gonna be doing this in like downtown at the county jail. But anyway, so what kind of alternative stories did you have from us for us? Sorry.
Crazy ones, bro. You gotta understand that we're middle school kids. I was in 7th grade. And coming into 7th grade, bro, I was just a good kid. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, but you're like also at an age like where you're like more aware of yourself, so behavior is gonna be different now because like you're away from your parents a little bit more.
Like I thought marijuana and weed were 2 different things. That's how innocent I was. Yeah.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So
say no to drugs, kids.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, yeah, we'll save that.
But
okay.
But yeah, man. I came in a couple of weeks into 7th grade, not knowing anybody. Came in from Canutillo. What it do?
Canute's been shouted out before.
They could probably hear me from here, no?
Yeah, it's right now. I can throw a rock to Canutillo right now. Straight up.
Yeah,
I
man.
could go out.
Why didn't you go to Canutillo? Oh, it's new, huh? It wasn't there?
No, I had moved from Canutillo district over to Lincoln, and so yeah, like I said, man, I didn't know anybody. You know, I was a good kid, and one day we had a random ass lockdown, and I'm in science class, and I didn't even know what a lockdown was, and word goes around, they're like, oh, this is usually when they go and they bring a dog and they look for drugs and shit, you know, and maybe about an hour later, a cop came in asking for my name. And I was like, oh, maybe this guy needs a real detective. You know, I was like, I got you, sir. You know, so I went up to him and he's all like, hey, he shows me a little sticker and he's all like, is this your locker number? And, you know, every year at the beginning of the year, you get signed.
Yeah, you get assigned a locker for back in the day.
But I never used it. You know?
And I wasn't a big locker guy either.
I just used whatever books I had. But,
okay.
But yeah, and, so he's all like, is this your locker? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, let's go. So he's walking me down. Come to find out, somebody had put like a brick, like a pound or some shit of weed in there. He just decided to use a random ass locker.
Yeah, I know. How fucking random.
Decided to use your
put his
locker.
own lock and stuff, you know.
And the amount and everything. Like,
it's crazy.
Okay, so hold on. So
I was like, is it marijuana or weed? Like, which one?
So the locker you had, you didn't use, so it was vacant, right?
Vacant, but not even
okay, so then, so people knew, like, oh, hey, if I need to hide something,
right,
I'm not going to put it in my locker when I can use...
someone you knew set you up.
No, not even somebody that you necessarily know.
Chance, you know.
It's like where they had all the lockers back in the day at Lincoln, there was, like, lockers everywhere. Yeah. So if you looked around and paid attention... Like, you could see, like, oh, hey, this locker's not being used. Like, there's never a lock on it. I never see anybody coming into it.
Hey, man, those lockers are crazy, man. I found some nasty shit in them. No, I didn't have nothing on
them. Yeah, so he wasn't using it.
Yeah, I wasn't using it.
So then somebody was able to, like, be like, hey, well, I'm going to put this in here because if anything ever happens, it's not my locker technically. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's unlocked.
So pretty much.
Of course people are going to.
They got me for that. They wanted to kick me out of the Lincoln.
Damn.
You know? And that being said, my stepdad works for customs. So it brought a lot of attention to our family, you know? Of course. But my mom was just pissed off at the fact, like, she knew me, like, my son's a pussy. My son don't do shit.
But she knew you well enough and trusted you well enough
we
to
fought
trust
this
you,
shit,
honestly.
yeah. We fought it, and the best it could do was it put me in alternative, you know? And
for how long?
For the rest of the year.
Which was?
I was only in school for like a month and a half.
Oh, and then this
first month and a half, and then this.
Oh, that's it.
Only cool thing is like they were lenient enough to let me play football, so I would stay.
Oh, okay. So you still practice, your sports. Yeah, that matters.
But yeah, you know, we fought it. I was out of school for like 3 weeks, probably just going to all these meetings and shit, and we ended up, you know, agreeing to I'll stay at Lincoln alternative for the rest of the year.
Okay.
You know, I have to show up an hour early, leave an hour early, we go to lunch an hour before everybody. Yeah, 7th grade.
Okay.
And first day at school, you know, they walked me in and there was a guy named Mr. McCowan. He was like our teacher, I guess. Some tall, lanky, you know, with a big ass mustache, you know, cowboy looking dude. And then he had this helper. We called him Barney. Fat dude, bro. Like 6 inches of crack showing the whole time. But yeah, man, he told me, hey, man, come inside. And he sat me right in front of his desk. He's just you're gonna sit here for now, and he walked outside to talk to my parents, both
kind
of
of
them.
psych you out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm just standing there. I'm just sitting there, right? And then all I hear is like, "Hey, man, that's my seat." And before I could turn around and tell him like, "Well, this is where I was told to sit," bam, you know.
Like the movie.
Guy, dude, I fell on the floor and I was just like, "What is this?" You know,
What happened?
like outside a Canotillo. I've never been outside
Where
a
in your
Canotillo.
face?
I don't know. I have a big face, so.
But I mean, it was in your
It was in the
face.
mouth for sure.
He
hit you-
hit
he
me
hit
right
you
in the
hard.
mouth. And then when
like
I
noses
fell on the
are the
floor,
worst.
two other scrawny little cholos jumped in and just tried to, kick me. But they looked like they were tap dancing. They weren't really hitting me that hard. And out of nowhere, man, you should see
You're in
JoJo.
7th grade,
If you guys
like,
don't know
no.
JoJo, this dude's just out of nowhere, man. My
What's his
hero.
last name?
JoJo Herbert.
I've heard of
Shout
him.
out, man.
Never
However
met him,
he's
don't
doing.
I have a rap song with JoJo, by
Oh,
the
do
way.
you?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
from back in
Oh
the
man,
day.
I gotta talk to you about it. I didn't know Chris was a rapper. I was like,
I think we actually have like 2 or 3 songs with
That's
JoJo on the
dope.
track.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jamal.
Jamal.
Well, those are other
Jesus.
people,
No,
but
but I just always think of him.
yeah,
He's
we
so
have.
funny.
I had some rap tracks. We'll get into that later.
Of course, Sam.
But
I'm
anyway,
saying, like, who else?
so yeah, so JoJo and who else?
Dude, JoJo jumped in, and then as I'm trying to get up, the Rivera's brothers, I did a shout out to them in the last podcast.
Yeah, shout out to them.
But dude, these guys
Saving
are
my
like
boy.
so quiet dudes, mean mugging looking motherfuckers.
Yeah, they
And
do
these
look mean.
guys, bro, like they
They're
look
very
for
nice,
that,
though.
bro. They
Yeah.
they used to look for that shit. So I was like, oh shit, do I run this place now? Like is this my shit?
People.
But you know what? I was thinking to myself too, like, you know what? I'm fucked. Like that's it. They are gonna kick me out. My mom's gonna kick me out.
Yeah.
And then this shit's gonna turn bad. And then Mr. McCoy walked in, and all you hear is like, "What the fuck?" And we all stop, like, "Shit." I'm starting to pack my shit. Like I'm not.
Yeah, I'm done,
you
bro.
know.
I'm trying to get out of there quick before my mom leaves. She don't have to waste gas to come back and shit. But
Runs to the car.
but yeah, he's all like, "Everybody get down on the floor, dude." All we did was like probably 100 push-ups, and now it's just to myself, it's gonna be a long fucking year. This is gonna be a long year, but
Looking at some time here, bro.
yeah, man. But I mean, the shit we went through, it was pretty crazy. It actually opened my mind to a lot of shit. I met a lot of crazy people. Smoked weed because of it. I was like, fuck it, I'm already here.
Yeah, I'm an alternative for some
Might as well.
for some weed that isn't
Yeah,
mine.
man,
So I
it's-
mean,
it's-
what the hell?
Shout out to Georgie and Louis and Martin though.
That's funny, dude. I remember those guys. Those guys were cool guys back in the day. Yeah, Lincoln was crazy, dude.
Were you rapping during Lincoln?
Nah, dude.
Were you, dude?
Dude, I didn't start rapping until like after high school. But
Because he's done it twice.
yeah.
Dude, I was just
two
thinking,
shots.
man, like during
Yeah,
Lincoln, I was listening to kind of like Mystical and shit like that.
Yeah, 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like I
Eminem.
would blast like Mystical and you can understand this dude, So it wasn't until like probably way after high school where I started really listening to the lyrics, and I was like, I was blasting this shit in my room, at first all you sound is like, I'll give my thing in my hand.
Yeah, dude.
I'll be
Exactly.
cool.
Or like it's the same thing like when you grew up listening to like Dr. Dre and Eminem when they were popping.
Yeah.
And then we were like 7 or 6 years old. And then you play back the shit that they were saying. You're like, oh, God
It's
bless.
ruthless.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're like, God, they
Play some
let the
Justin
children.
Bieber or
Rock
Yeah.
and
something.
roll's pretty
They're like, can you guys listen to George Strait or Elvis or
That's
something?
wild.
Like, God.
Yeah, but they say
Like,
some crazy shit too. Like, you really
But it was pretty funny, dude, because like I remember like one of my cousins burned me the Dr. Dre The Chronic 2000 album, which was like a huge album at the time. So he burned it from CD to CD, which was like the thing to do back then.
Yeah.
I don't know how my mom found out that I had that album and she confiscated it from me. And I was super pissed off because like I had the uncensored version, which is like something that
That's why.
that was big. But like it's kind of like what first opened my eyes to like, okay, this is kind of how the world really is. It's not all like puppies and flowers.
Yeah, I learned that.
You know what I mean? Like
I learned that when that
it's not
cholo-
all good, like good times all the time. Like it was like
Yeah, dude, I learned that when that
it
cholo
opened
punched
your
me
eyes,
in the
dude.
mouth. That day.
You see?
Like that very instant, I was like, man,
He's
all
like,
right.
oh,
time to change my name to
puppies
church.
and flowers, just they went out of his head,
Yeah.
and that was it.
That's so
But
crazy. Middle school is
I came
wild.
home that day jacked.
So
Well,
okay, when you were in middle school, did you have a cell phone? I didn't have a cell phone until 8th grade. I got my Virgin Mobile phone.
No, dude, I didn't get
And
one.
you had
till,
to
like,
go
my freshman
cop
year.
the little minutes at the
I had
gas station or
I
at
was
like
still
Walgreens.
fucking with smoke signals back then.
Beepers.
Beepers.
I had a prepaid, and I got the prepaid when I would do sports. So
Like,
that
remember
shit
your
was cool.
your very first phone, and then
I
think
had a
about it,
like 2 Nokias.
think
The
about
little
what it
rings.
looked like, what it could
I know
do.
exactly what it
Dude, they
looks
never
like.
died.
Let
You know
me.
what I
Can I
mean?
look mine up?
Well, do you know the name of it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, type it in there. Let's see. So yeah, like think about the very first phone you had, like the very first one, like the ones that you would play like Snake on the screen, and it was like the green backlighting with the dark.
See,
like,
I remember one of my uncles.
yeah, we're
having
scrolling
the
through some
first
Nokia
one,
phones here on Google, but
I had that one.
the sliders, yeah, the sliders were popular.
No, that was later, but
remember,
I had that one.
remember what was the one that like you flip and it would like
Oh,
the Razor, not the
Blackberry.
Razor.
No, not the Blackberry.
No, that wasn't
blueberries. No,
What? Cranberry?
Blueberries.
it had berries.
No, Blackberry was a type of phone.
I know which one you're talking about.
Damn, remember
Oh,
people
the
used to
flip,
have
the
the one that like you would
Yeah.
hold it,
sidekick.
the sidekick,
There
and it
you
would
go.
No, that
the
was
screen
T-Mobile.
would shoot
no,
out.
No, Verizon had cool ones too that slid and flipped up.
I don't
and
know.
stuff.
No,
I was
yeah, yeah.
excited when I got the
But-
Razor though.
But yeah, the Razor was cool, but that one that you would hold and flick the screen.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
friend
yeah.
Caesar used to have it, dude. And I just remember my friend Caesar texting all the girls in high school with that phone, and he was like
sending them emails.
dude, he was like automatic with it, bro. I
I
swear to God, dude. It was hilarious. So anyway, picture your first smartphone and then look down at the phone you have now.
I know,
That's
right?
a piece of
Look
shit.
at the
For
difference,
sure.
man. That
It's
shit
crazy,
is-
man.
that
I mean,
shit is
I actually
crazy.
remember like my sophomore year, maybe freshman year, like finding
that, the
ways
BlackBerry.
to get on the internet.
Watch.
I had a BlackBerry. Where?
That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a BlackBerry.
Oh yeah,
right there.
I had one of those.
Remember-
I had something
remember-
like this. I
yeah,
just can't find
Blackberries, and like you thought you were like the shit back in
it.
the
Oh,
day.
I fucking love Blackberries.
Like some people had BlackBerry, and they're like, "Bro, I text
Dude,
differently."
I see
homie.
those kids, dude, in middle school with that, and I'm like, who the fuck are they calling? Like,
Yeah, dude, it's like, what's going on? Yeah. So anyway, so now that we're on the cell phone topic, I wanted to show you guys this article really fast. Let me find it. Where was it? We lost it. Hold on.
No, it's right there. Apple.
Okay. So yeah. Anyways, this article that we have here comes from CNN Business, and it says, and this is one of the reasons why I've always been like, I don't hate Apple because I use a lot of their products, but I'm hesitant to use their phones.
what
And-
makes you think like that on every now because of this? You know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just always knew like this was kind of like what I thought their strategy was when it came to selling and promoting their phones. So anyway, this article is dated Monday, March 2nd, 2020. It says Apple will pay up to $500 million to settle a lawsuit over slowing down older iPhones. So this is something that I had always thought they were doing.
And now they proved it.
And
Okay.
obviously, yeah, there's a lawsuit out, and these guys got, obviously they didn't win.
$500 million.
So what they would do is, every year, or I don't even know if it's annually or how they do it, but it's like there's always a new iPhone coming out.
It's like every
always
3 months. Dude.
Yeah, always a new
It's
iPhone coming
ridiculous.
out. And so if you bought like an iPhone 5 or 6S or a 6 back in the day, and they're already rolling out Apple like iPhone 9, Apple 8, or iPhone 8, 9, whatever X.
Yours just start slowing down.
Yeah, so what they would do is purposely they would slow your phone down, right? So you would think, oh, my phone's messed up. I need to get a new one.
What was their explanation for that? What reason?
Well, there was
for that?
obviously no good explanation. Whatever explanation they had.
I mean, I had heard somewhere that it was because it was too many people. Like
No, dude, nope. I'm not buying that one, Apple. Like,
don't get mad at me, Chris. All right?
no, I know, but look, let me read part of this article. This is from CNN Business. Like I said, Apple will pay up to $500 million to settle a class action lawsuit accusing it of slowing down older iPhone models to compel users to buy new ones.
That's insane. Dude.
Okay. The proposed settlement agreement is to pay owners of certain iPhone models $25 per affected device totaling a minimum of $310 million and a maximum of $500 million, according to documents released on Friday in U.S. District Court in San Jose, California. So they fought this at a federal level, and they're like, dude, we'll settle. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
know,
We're guilty
man.
of this, bro. So that's kind of always why I've been like,
dude,
$25
back is not.
That's nothing. It's nothing. But if like think about it, the minimum is $310 million. So how many phones did they slow down?
Well, they got me like 4 times for sure.
Dude, they got me.
Nah,
like twice.
I've only had one of them. But yeah, dude.
Look, dude, and this is how you know that it was them, because it says the settlement agreement. So that means in a lawsuit, if there's a settlement, that somebody has something that they're like, okay, yes, we did.
Technically, I guess they're not guilty.
Well, no. Well, they come to a settlement because they know, they're like, yeah, we're
Not
gonna,
officially.
yes, we're screwed. So we might as well settle for the lowest amount possible, and we'll wipe our hands of it because we're Apple.
It's a bigger chance of them losing.
Hey, and then, hey, by the way, iPhone 11 out this November.
What?
You know what I mean? Like, dude, these guys don't care, dude. They don't care, dude.
I'm gonna sue them for fucking being so fragile.
Yeah, and so like another quote or part of the part of the article, it says the company admitted in December 2017 that it used software updates to slow down older iPhones. Soon after that, angry customers and tech analysts flagged that the updates were causing diminished performance. So you would update your phone thinking, hey, it's a new update. Right. Your phone tells you, hey, update me, bro. And it won't even like let you do stuff. It keeps showing up like a little pop-up to update.
Stop being cheap.
Yeah. So then you would update your software thinking, okay, this is what my phone needs. Like whatever fixes, bugs that they fixed, this is going to help. Well, actually, that update was working counterproductive, and it was slowing your phone down. And now you were probably going to have to go buy a new iPhone because you think your iPhone 6S, which was perfectly good and working, was not doing what it's supposed to, but it was actually Apple slowing it down. So shout out to Apple.
Yep. Hell yeah.
High five for Apple. You guys got us again, bro. And by the way, we recorded this on an Apple Mac. I mean, look, Misa's looking at it. There it is.
It's nice.
It's nice, huh?
It's
Look at
nice,
that Retina display.
Has it been slow lately?
You see, I don't know if they would do that to the computers, man. They might piss everybody
Why not,
off.
though?
I don't know.
Well, I guess just because more people.
It's easier, I think,
phone.
to slow down a phone than to slow down a full-on desktop. Like, you know, they'd be like, you pay a lot more money for a desktop
People
computer.
should just go back to just using headphones, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, we should think about that seriously as a society, because this phone game is getting out of control.
Yeah, man. People,
you know what I mean?
I mean, dude, we just lost a good friend, Joe. Joe Memes, wherever you're at, brother. We miss you, man.
R.I.P.
I hope you're good, bro.
Let's say a moment of silence for Joe. All right, no, we're just kidding. Yeah. He's fine. He's somewhere. He's somewhere. He's okay. There's it's just social media. On social media, he's dead right now.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Joe Memes.
I hate to see a fallen soldier, man. I'll tell you that once.
And I feel like it's somehow twice. Like my duty to kind of start posting some sort of memes, like daily.
Like somebody needs to carry his meme torch.
Like I see all these people like posting all this depressing shit.
Yeah, dude, I haven't seen like good memes ever since he's been out. But I don't have the time to like be Joe in that respect. You know what I mean? Like my Facebook usage is there, but it's not like to the point where I can find all these memes everywhere. But it'd be nice. So if you guys have memes,
well, because of Joe, I mean, Joe was that guy that did.
Yeah,
it for
Joe
us.
was the one. God, I miss Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Joe, if you're listening, which you might be, we miss you, brother.
Anyways, let's move on, man.
Okay, so
bro,
I'm looking at this rundown list that we made the other day when my dad kind of interrupted the podcast we were doing because he showed up at an awkward time, and the conversation went from going really well to not going very well at all. So we kind of like had to stop and rethink what we were doing. But anyway, so I want to talk to you about the value of an iPhone really fast, whether it's broken or not. So,
I mean, not much.
if I sent, well, hold on, let me give you the scenario. If I send you to, where can I send you? A foreign country. Let's say I send you to the, where can I send you? Let's say I send you to Somalia in Africa.
Oh, shit.
And I give you like 100 iPhones. Do you think you could sell them? I think you could sell them. Whether they were
probably get like 3 cows and a goat.
Well, yeah, that's worth something over there. Whether they're broken or not, I think people would be like, yo, that's an iPhone. I'm going to get that. I'll do whatever I need to. Like, I'll fix it, whatever. And then, boom, I got an iPhone. Flexing in Somalia with an iPhone.
Yeah,
imagine that.
And, shit for it.
And then somebody would come up and cap them, maybe even,
and then the price would go up by then, no?
Exactly. You see? Dude, if you took iPhones and introduced them in an area of the world where there's no iPhones.
But I mean, how big is it? How big is it in China? I wouldn't know.
Dude, no, really big in China? Well, it is, but like China, like they mess with Apple, but they also have their own type of phones, their own brands that are made only in China and that aren't sold here in the US. They are, though. Well, supposedly they're way better here. Like they have battery that will last you like a whole week.
God damn.
Like like you can get Wi-Fi, like internet access without paying for it. Like it just picks up, like because the Wi-Fi is everywhere
America
already.
Needs to step up.
Well, America's like everything's about making money. Apple. So, but yeah, dude, I've researched a few like brands, these phone brands that were only available in China, like are way better and have better capabilities.
I wonder if they would work over here. Would you be able to make?
No, they probably wouldn't work over here. Like, there's probably something with the networks here in America where, like, that phone wouldn't be able to connect or something.
Spread a virus. Yeah.
Well, yes, it could possibly spread a virus. But let's take a quick break from the Conversing with Chris podcast, episode number 17. We'll be back with another segment shortly. We're going to talk about homeless people who do not have teeth.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about if you could hitchhike across America and what would your strategy be. Coronavirus update. And we'll see if we have a scary story from Misa, and maybe we'll talk about some ghosts. So we'll be back. Thanks for listening to the Conversing with Chris podcast. This is episode number 16. Find us on Facebook. Check us out on the Anchor app, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Make sure to share, like, comment. We will be right back. Conversing with Chris, rewind. Is a hot dog a sandwich? That's the world-renowned question.
A sandwich.
I've had plenty of debates with people.
I gotta go with yes on this one.
And a hot dog, my guy, is a sandwich. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I gotta go with you on that one. A hot dog is a yes on this.
Whoever disagrees with me, get on the pod. Let's talk it out.
We'll have a full-on
discussion. We'll break down hot dogs and sandwiches. We'll compare them and contrast them.
Whatever sandwich you want to throw at us.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a PowerPoint presentation about this, man.
Whether or not I'm here, Chris will have that viewpoint.
Yes, because I'm tired of this, man. This is something that needs to be addressed throughout the general public, and people need to be educated. Sandwiches. All right, guys, we're back with segment 2 of the Conversing with Chris, the podcast. Episode number 16. Like I said earlier in this podcast, this episode is a preview episode to episode number 17. That is going to be our interview with my boy Misa. He got the plug and hooked us up with this guest. His name is Fernando Cuevas. He's a former co-host on the KLAQ morning show with Buzz Adams. So I'm really excited. We're looking forward to that podcast.
It should be one of our best ones so far, man. It should be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. We just wanted to give you this extra content as a preview, just to keep you guys tuned in, keep you guys informed of what we got going on, what we have planned for you guys. So in this segment, we're going to touch on some different things. The other day, I was driving. I was on I-10. I was coming home from work. I was on I-10 West, and usually what I do is I take I-10 West. I'll get off on Misa because right there on red, at the red exit, it backs up all crazy. because
rush hour, man.
Yeah, because I come home around like 4:30, 4 o'clock, and it's like already rush hour at that point. So the traffic is terrible at that spot of I-10.
And they just fixed Mesa, that Mesa.
Yeah, they fixed
there.
Mesa, so like Mesa is not that bad. So a lot of people just get off on Mesa. So the other day, I got off on Mesa, right there by where the Verizon store is and the Texas Roadhouse, and I was gonna turn down Mesa to head to Doniphan, where like the Sam's is and all that. So usually, like, I have a policy when it comes to people that are on the side of the road.
You mean homeless people?
Homeless people with signs, or at a convenience store with the sign or asking for money.
Crackheads.
Well, I don't want to judge, but
no, they're crackheads.
There's a high potential.
I used to be one, yeah.
The potential's high for that. But anyway, so I have a policy with them, right? I don't give them money, but I'll buy them a bag of chips. I'll buy them a soda. I'll give them some food. If I have like a water bottle that's brand new that I'm not gonna drink, I'll hook them up. You know what I mean? I'm not like. It's not that I don't want to give them money, but it's like I'm not gonna give them money because like if they have a drinking problem or if they like crack, like Misa said,
buy them a tall boy or something.
I mean, I think about it, but I'm like, I don't want to buy this guy a tall boy, and then he's right here getting faded, and then he falls into the road and gets ran over. Like, I don't know. It just makes me think differently. So my policy is like, I'll buy him like something, whether it's something to eat, like something, whatever it is. I'll even ask him, what do you want? Like, what kind of chips you want? I'll go in there and I'll buy them for you. One time.
You come out with an application.
Yeah, dude. Like, here, dude. By the way, they're hiring. Anyway, one time I remember specifically, like, by where I work downtown, and there's a Circle K on Paisano. And on Paisano downtown, there's like 2 gas stations. So you can only imagine they get popping. They're popping all the time, like 3 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 12 o'clock for lunch, and at noon. It's popping, dude. There's never parking. There's people everywhere. And there's always like people hanging out, like panhandling for money right there. So anyways, I go to the Circle K, right? And I'm getting off track from my original story, but it's kind of funny. So I go to the Circle K and I get off, and right away I see this guy. He's approaching people for money, whatever. So, of course, he sees me, comes up to me. I say, look, dude, in Spanish, obviously, because he didn't speak English. Not obviously, but I don't know why I did that. Because we're in El Paso, that's why. So he comes up to me and he says in Spanish that he has a little girl that is in school and that he's trying to get food to have for dinner for her when she gets out. That was his thing in Spanish. So I tell him, I'm not going to give you any money, but I said, come with me inside the gas station and you can pick any bag of chips you like. So I was thinking he's going to pick like the personal size, you know what I mean? And if you know anything about shopping or grocery shopping, bags of chips at the gas station are way more expensive than they are at Walmart or any grocery store. So we go in there. I tell him, I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to grab a soda. I forgot what I was getting. A soda and like some corn nuts or some shit. And, you know, grab what you want and I'll meet you at the register. I'll buy it for you and, you know, you'll be on your way. So, you know, I go to the back and I figure he'll be over here too, somewhere looking at the little chip bags. Bro, the guy is in the big chips. He's scouting the big dogs, bro. And he's looking at all of them,
He's
too.
looking at the weight.
Yeah, dude. He's filling the bags. He's picking up multiple ones. Like, this one sounds more than the other one, shaking it. Like,
and was it just one bag or like one for each?
Well, he was checking like a lot of different bags. And then he settles on the flaming hot Doritos. So I was like, that's respectable. I'm down.
Yeah. That's a good dinner.
I fuck with those. So, you know, and that's what I was thinking, too. I was like, wait. He wants dinner, and this is the dinner. But anyway, so I didn't get into that. So I just said, you know what? That's what he wants. I told him, throw it on the counter. Let's pay for this, and we'll be out. So, of course, when I go out.
$45 later.
Well, the crazy thing is, like $75 later for a bag of chips and like $10 for corn nuts and a soda. Shit. Like, I was out $85. He robbed me financially in a slick way. Shout out to that guy. And then. Yeah, I should have just given him $5.
But no, you got.
But my principal doesn't let me. So anyway, we're walking out, and then the funny thing to me at the very end, he busts out this little like prayer pamphlet and gives it to me. And I'm like,
this guy.
I'm like, bro. And so I say, okay, thank you, sir, in Spanish. And I dip out. I go to my car. Dude, as soon as I got in the car, dude, I shredded that shit. I was like, I was like, bro, this guy's conned me in the name of Jesus. And I didn't even know it. I thought I was doing good. I thought I was doing good.
Hey, maybe that was just like Jesus
and he
saying,
conned me.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know if Jesus was testing me, but one of the things, the reason I do that is because my grandma, my aunt who passed away, that I refer to her as my grandma, she would always do that for the homeless people or people asking for money. She would never give them money, but she would get them something.
Right.
And she would always say, you know, like, if you're fortunate enough, you help the unfortunate. And hopefully, like, if you were ever in that position, somebody would help you. So that's the reason I do it. Anyways, back to the original point of the story. Cruising down on Mesa, off of I-10, homeless guy on the side of the road. Homeless guy on the side of the road. I don't have any money. I don't have anything to give him, but I have a thing of peanuts, the little 99-cent peanuts that you get at the gas station, the lemon lime ones that are fire, by the way. If you don't know what those are,
maybe we could
get at me. Yeah, I would be down to be sponsored by those, bro, and give them out to all the guests. And then
nuts.
Just like, here's a pack of nuts. Like, take them with you. And then, like, at the same time, just be like slaughtering them here on the podcast. Anyway, so this guy's on the side of the road, right? And then I roll down my window and I'm like, hey, brother, I do not have cash to give you, because right away he walked up to me like, he's like, yo, like, what's good?
Like, this is the type of guy that would buy me a big bag of
chips.
Like,
I'm going to get some money. Yeah, because I rolled down my window. He came to me like a fucking person that was dehydrated goes to like a gallon of water. Like, he sprinted to me. And then I was like, hey, dude, no cash. Sorry. However, I got these peanuts, brother, brand new, haven't been opened. They're all yours if you want them. And then he looks me dead in the eye and goes, thanks, brother, but I don't have any teeth.
No.
And smiles at me.
How did that make you feel, Chris?
Like, I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry for bothering you. And I rolled up the window. Yeah. And then I looked at those peanuts and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to eat these. And I slapped those down. But it was
you know
funny,
what? You probably
drove
home thinking and being grateful of how you still got all your teeth. Mm-hmm. Take care of your teeth, people.
Yeah, I immediately scheduled a dentist appointment for, I think it's in like 2028 that it's scheduled for. So, so I'm definitely considering my dental hygiene at this point.
For sure.
But that was super funny, dude. Like,
that's crazy. You know, I've had an experience kind of like your first story. It was at Walmart.
Do you have like a go-to move when it comes to homeless people, or like how do you?
You know what? It's
an interesting.
I try
subject.
Like, but the only
people
really
don't talk about. This.
Well, I mean, a lot of
because
people
it happens all the time.
A lot of people have different views on it.
Some people are fucking straight up cold-blooded, bro. They fucking just. Yeah. And I feel you.
Bro. I remember I was in San Antonio. Me and my wife made a trip up there with the kids. And there was this famous restaurant that were known for their big ass like cinnamon rolls. So we went for breakfast and stuff, and I ordered all my food, and it was a lot. So I had a shit ton left over. And as we're driving, my daughter's always been very sweet about, you know, helping the homeless and stuff like that. And she sees some guy laying down by himself.
She'll tell you like,
she's
hey,
like, Dad, can we help him?
Can we help him?
And I was like, you know what?
Can we save the world one homeless person at a time?
You got $85 on you, girl?
Yeah, let me see your piggy bank. Give me that. We'll see how much you want to help him once it's your money.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, you know what? I'll give him my food, my leftover, man. It was a lot. God, I love you, Mom. So I
welcome back to the podcast, Lena.
Sorry.
So she joined us. We're like 2/3 of the way done. She finally decided to join us. But anyway,
oh my gosh, where are you?
Misa's telling us a story. Go back.
Okay.
But yeah, so I pull over and I go up to him, and he was like, he was passed out in these staircase, and I approach. You could tell this guy's been out there for a while, you know. So I was like, hey, sir, and he wakes up and he stands up all scared, and it's like, hey man, you know what? I just had some breakfast. I got a lot of food left over. You want it? He's like, oh yeah, and so I give it to him, and he got up, you know, and he wanted to give me a hug. I just shook his hand, but I could smell the alcohol. Like hardcore, and
I was passed the fuck out.
I was thinking to myself, bro, like,
well, think about
I just hooked him up with the best like hangover food for this guy. This guy probably had the blast last night.
That's probably been.
And then he just woke up and hey, Breakfast
Squat.
served. Breakfast served in bed.
He was at the Holiday Inn, bro. Yes, sir. That's how, dude.
But you know what?
Crazy.
And then there was this other time, me and your cousin Blue, we were at Walmart, and there was this lady that came around, and no, there was this guy that came around, and he had a little kid with him. He was about maybe 6 or 7, you know. And they're walking around. He's like, "Hey, man, I was just wondering if you had any change, you know, to get some gas money, so me and my son could go home and stuff." And I was like, "Oh," I walked back to the car, and I had a few quarters and stuff. I gave it to him. So we take off. Maybe like 40 minutes later, me and Blue were walking back to the car, and they're walking through the parking lot, and they're walking towards this like empty parking space, and then a truck goes and pulls over. And then there's this lady giving them drinks, you know, and then they get in the car and then they take off, you know. And I'm like, dude, it's just all a scam,
Well,
you know.
look,
Like,
okay.
and what pissed me off is that this guy was using his kid.
Well,
You know?
okay, look. In Albuquerque, that shit's real as fuck. Downtown, a lot of people unfortunately like to be cons, but
Bastards.
I think that's why when Chris and I are ever in an opportunity, that's why we offer food. You know, if
That's what I was just telling
they're
them.
gonna take
Or,
advantage
yeah.
of you, like, okay, you can't really help that. Like, at the same time, I don't want to turn somebody away and assume they're a con.
Yeah.
You know,
Or another strategy that I use is like, if they ask me for gas, I'll be like, "Hey, stay right here," and then I'll go throw 5 on their pump, and that's it. And like, okay, there's your gas, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them straight up, pay it forward. Next time you see somebody that needs gas, and they're asking you,
I've always told
like,
people that I've helped out.
yeah,
Oh, man,
like
just
you better pay it
bro.
forward, bro, because like I said, I don't know, like one day you never know, and you could be there, like,
well,
you know what I mean?
That's just
But
that's what you should
I don't
just
know.
do when you can help somebody in need.
That's
you're
the
able-
strategy, I think.
You know what? Now, bro, nowadays, I try not to. I mean, I keep my windows up, and then it's just like, yeah,
Well,
sorry.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
coronavirus
of course.
going around.
Well, not only that, but okay, so like, I saw this video on YouTube, like these guys, they hitchhiked across China, and it took them like 5 days,
Oh, yeah.
dude. That was, to me, that was crazy, and
That's
they made
awesome.
it, and like it was cool. So it got me thinking, like, okay, if you were gonna hitchhike across the U.S.,
Would it be harder? I think it'd be easier.
I think it'd probably, well, I don't know, because China, you never, like, I think people are like low key friendly over there, and they don't see hitchhikers all the time, so they're like, damn, what's this guy doing? He probably really
Is
needs
that
a
an
ride.
iPhone?
Yeah, and then if you have an iPhone, they're like, bro, he's got an iPhone, bro, pick him up. And so, like, I think there's like differences, you know. So if you're gonna hitchhike across America, like, what's your strategy? If you're like in Los
Oh, we want
Angeles,
something like that.
yeah, remember that's what
I
I'm
don't know,
getting.
probably
They
take the
stopped
best
in
route.
Boyardi, dude. Oh
Take
my
the best
God.
route, you know. Scenic.
Don't
No,
let me
but,
forget
like,
to show you.
So, but how are you gonna hitchhike? Are you gonna hop trains? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't just.
Well, I mean, I would obviously take a train. I would take a hitchhike, but I think that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Probably just walk, train and walking. You know.
Yeah, I think I would train over there. So yeah, if I was gonna hitchhike across America, you're definitely gonna try to do automobiles, trains.
I mean, somebody out there must have like already walked.
No, yeah, somebody's done it
Across,
before,
right?
dude, and I it's got to
The
be
Indians?
perilous. yeah,
The Trail of
the
Tears.
settlers, the European settlers, they walked
Yeah.
from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. But anyway, I was watching these guys. These guys used a river and floated down the river like overnight, and they got like 100 miles downstream.
Dang,
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
But
That's
scary.
dangerous.
yeah, because they were in the middle overnight on a little raft that they bought at a store. And then not only that, so
I'd be like on a tube.
dude,
drinking a beer
they
and
were
shit.
like hounded by mosquitoes, dude.
Oh,
So they
see,
woke up
that's-
the next day, like obviously they were wet and swamp ass probably. Their face was like
Burnt.
bit by mosquitoes. Like it was fucking ruthless. I was like, hell no,
yeah,
dude.
dude, it's crazy out there. You don't think about all that.
That's how you catch the West Nile, bro,
Yeah,
for
dude.
real. Like, well, speaking of
Zika virus. What
yeah,
happened to
speaking
that?
of viruses, let's give a coronavirus update.
Oh man.
The shit is getting pretty
Make
real,
sure you're
guys.
going to the CDC or the WHO.
So
you're going to Guardian.
there's been recent talks and there's been rumors that there's cases of the coronavirus in Juarez. possible. They haven't been confirmed, but
I've been told by a source that there's been a patient in a hospital here that's been quarantined for a
that
good
they're
minute
not saying
now.
anything about.
Yeah.
Okay, because
That's how rumors get started.
yes.
Well, this source is legit because it's
because I saw them on Facebook,
there,
brother. Or okay, if they work there, but they should also be careful about disclosing that because they could probably get in a lot of trouble. But anyway,
You should probably just edit this whole part out.
No, because we didn't name names.
Nah, fuck that.
And it's an unnamed source. But anyway, so
It's a free country, man.
so the coronavirus is here now in the United States. There's been reported of cases in New York. One of the states that's feeling it the most is the state of Washington, as they're reporting 70 cases in Washington. In San Francisco, there's a cruise ship that is being quarantined off the coast because they have confirmed cases on the board. So that's crazy, dude. It's actually starting to hit home now. What are your thoughts on that? Are you scared? I'm scared. I don't know if I'm scared.
We should be educated as much as possible. So
take precaution for sure. Like don't underestimate
what's
this.
What like real shit, not like
yeah, dude. Because a lot of people have died. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's going away.
It's actually affecting pets as well.
Yeah. Somebody got his dog. I was
about to say I'm gonna put my kids away.
And he transferred the coronavirus to the dog.
Yeah.
And I wonder what happened to that dog. He probably didn't make it very long. So
I think it was like a mouse.
I think one thing that is a possibility is that if they start confirming these cases in Mexico, I think they're going to close the border, dude.
They should.
I'm not kidding. I think that would probably happen, dude. And that would be huge.
I mean, you're already having all these flight restrictions going around. There's that case in San Antonio where they released
the guy that was in quarantine. And then
before they got the results.
Yes. Right. And then he was tested positive. Like it came out that he was positive and they had already released him. So
and this guy had gone to a mall. And then he went to a hotel. It's like that's the worst place to fucking.
He went to an Applebee's. Shit. He went to a Walmart. Yes, he went to what's another place that a lot of people go? Well, he went to a Walmart Supercenter. Actually, I don't know that. We're just kidding. But I'm just saying this guy went to like the most populous places, and it's just crazy. Like,
what's the death toll so far, like globally?
Global death toll. Let's see what it is.
It's.
I love Googling things on the podcasts because it makes for great radio. Let's see. U.S. Okay, so the U.S. death toll rose to 12. Maryland confirms its first positive case. So that means
New York just got it too, man.
Yeah,
and they had like 1,000 people that were.
Yes, they self-quarantined. Actually, they self-quarantined.
Bro,
I was watching that yesterday.
That could explode, especially the population. You know.
Yeah, it's going to for real.
It's crazy, man.
But yeah, anyway, so with the coronavirus, like we said, I think they would shut down the border with Mexico.
It's just, I guess it all depends how bad it gets.
If it got that bad, yeah. And then, I don't know, dude. I don't know how it could probably get really bad. It's kind of scary, actually. So,
yeah.
For everybody out there, remember, if you're sick, stay home. If you're coughing, cover your mouth. Use plenty of hand sanitizer.
Teach your kids all this as well.
Yes, teach your kids this, especially at school, because school is going to be one of the places where it probably spreads quicker than others. And you've seen that because in Japan, that was one of the first things they did.
Yeah,
they shut down their schools and in Italy, because obviously that's where, a lot of interaction happens. So
the children, I think that should be a priority.
Well, not only that, but I mean, they can spread it to anyone at home. So you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
one child could
tear everything up. So we wanted to give a quick update on that. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Use hand sanitizer. Most importantly though, if you're sick, don't go to work. Yeah. Like take a sick day.
Not everybody has.
I know, but still, if you have the luxury, do not go to work. Yes.
Yes, but let's also be kind, because not everybody. We're in America, and America wants you to do unexpected shit with little. Like, you want to have people with 2 fucking jobs because they don't want to give them health care, and then you're fucking wondering why people are passing shit around because you don't want to take care of your employees. You want to fuck your employees and then wonder why shit like that happens.
Hey, Lena,
like,
I'm gonna vote for you, Lena.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, you know.
Whoa,
Yeah.
America.
If we had a better
Just put you on
healthcare
blast,
system,
brother.
and we had, better policies, laws in place to take care of workers when it comes to things like this, then you wouldn't have people risking their life because they're like, well, fuck. If I don't go to work, I get fucked because I don't get my bills paid. And, we don't know how many people are just a paycheck away from being homeless, too. So we can't be unfucking kind and realize that that's a problem, too. So if America took care of those sort of problems, that would be easier to say, okay, stay the fuck home because you have the sick time. And then shit like this would also be better taken care of.
Yeah, so for now, just stay home.
Just stay home. Lena just went on a America.
But that's true, though.
Right?
I mean, if you think about it, what you're saying, like, if
like this,
those issues would have been taken care of a long time
21,
ago.
They cut his hours. Why? Because too many hours, they would have had to give him health care.
Because he wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's for another podcast.
How many other people do corporations fuck over in that sort of sense?
A lot of people.
Exactly. So you have multiple people who don't have health care because they literally can't afford it.
Yeah.
Or they're working, and then they're, anyway.
Yeah, anyway, okay. So Melena's rant was sponsored by Bud Light.
Bud Light, cheers.
And Anheuser-Busch, so cheers to that.
I haven't even had a single drop.
That shit's funny. Yeah, sometimes what we do here on the Conversing with Chris podcast is we go off topic and we start ranting, which is cool. I like it. So
God-giving
now that we're gonna reset here, Misa, last time I talked to you, you said that you had a scary story you wanted to share with us.
No, I think we were talking about ghosts and stuff. And the thing is
Lena checks out on ghosts. Anyway.
Yeah, like growing up, I thought I would see a lot of stuff. I was one of those kids that would wake up with nightmares often. But nah, one thing that stands out is I used to live with a buddy. Excuse me, my brother from another mother, Omar. Shout out to Omar, man. Love you, Dougie.
Shout out Omar. I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a great guy.
He's my brother, dude. But yeah, me and your cousin Blue were hanging out, and I don't know if we were leaving to buy weed or leaving to buy food. Anyways, so it was probably like midnight. Yeah, it was like midnight, and so it was over there on Dorsey Street, over by Franklin, around there.
True.
And so we're driving down, and we're driving down Lakehurst, and we slowed down because we could see this lady crossing the street, and this lady, she like a normal lady, she had a pink sweater on, she had like 2 bags, one on each hand, and she crossed the street, and we let her cross, and so we start driving, and before we hit, what is it, Thorn? No, before we hit, Thorn. Right before, we ended up having to stop again because it was the same lady crossing from the other side back. And me and Blue, like, just stopped, and we're like, bro,
what's going on?
I looked at Blue, and Blue went from being white to being clear. Like, see-through.
It went transparent.
Yeah, dude, this guy's just like, with his fingers just pointing at her, and he's like, what the fuck? Didn't we just see this chick? And
crying
he's like,
out for help.
Fuck no. And he went around her, and we just took off, man. And to this day, we think about it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, because it was the same lady, pink sweater and 1 bag on each hand.
Well, do you believe in ghosts?
I
personally don't believe in ghosts.
I don't know. I maybe. I don't know.
I personally don't believe in ghosts, but that's just me. Now, spirits, that's a different thing. I believe in spirits, but I don't believe in an actual ghost-like thing. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't know. I've until I see a ghost, then maybe, because that's what people say, you have to see one. But yes, for all you ghosts out there, if you're around here, hit it up.
Oh, shit.
Free 99 at my crib.
Okay, first of all,
hold on.
No.
Lena doesn't like ghosts, so she's mad that I did that.
No, Milena Ipiotis.
Milena
I'm not
Ipiotis.
requesting for spirits to come. No.
So, okay, guys, never mind. We take it back. No ghosts allowed here, but because that's what Lena says.
I guess
so,
I don't know, man. We gotta. Whoever's out there listening, man, go ahead and comment.
Yeah, if you guys have a
Put up a
ghost story, let us know and
Yeah,
then hit us up.
Definitely,
And
we'll
get you on the podcast.
And I will make sure I am not present.
And Lena will not be here because
Nope.
she's scared of ghosts.
I don't
And so anyway, on a lighter note, man who filmed himself licking ice cream tub gets jail time.
Oh, I heard about this kid, man.
A 24-year-old
Oh
Texas
my
man was
God.
sentenced to 30 days in jail for posting a video showing himself removing an ice cream container from a Texas market freezer, licking the contents,
That's
and returning the
fucking disgusting.
container
I'm
to the
glad
freezer.
He wanted
So-
15 minutes of fame and got 30 days in jail.
I think
Stupid mother.
so. I think this was like a internet sensation a little while back where people were doing this.
He probably
Where
had the cochino virus.
well, he had the dumbass virus because look what happened to him because he went licked the thing of jail. Licked a thing of ice cream at a store, probably a Walmart, because ratchet shit happens at Walmart. Shout out to Walmart, by the way.
Walmart.
Anyway,
So about Albertsons.
so now he's got 30 days in the county jail in Port Arthur, Texas. So that kind of sucks. And then also on top of that, he got sentenced to an additional 6-month jail term, probated for 2 years in order to pay $1,000 fine and $1,565 in restitution to Bluebell Creamery. So the ice cream companies, they cashed out. Shout out
Hell
to them.
yeah.
They
Sponsor
do what
us.
they do. Of course, America, the land of greed and opportunity, would take advantage of this, and Bluebell would make some money off of somebody.
Hey, you know
licking
what?
their ice
I'm
cream.
not even mad
Shout
about
out
this.
Pat.
And look, the incident happened at a Walmart, just like I said. I predicted that, bro. Ah, that's hilarious. Shout out to Walmart.
Yeah,
Stay
it's
classy.
nowadays, man. It's fucking kids will do anything for
Yeah,
you.
dude. Like, remember that little broom challenge they had? Like, recently
yeah.
where they were
You
standing
can-
shit up? Dude, at one Walmart, they stood up, like, all the brooms. And I was like, you guys, God bless you guys. That's hilarious.
Dude, nowadays people go to Walmart to fuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I think that's always been a thing is, like, let's go fuck up Walmart and see what we can get away with.
Okay.
You know
I
what
remember.
I mean?
I remember getting lost at Walmart. That's about it.
Like, I remember, like, people would, back in the day, throw themselves into, like, the displays of shit just to fuck everything up, dude. And then just fucking dip out.
Me and a buddy, we once glued those like those 5-gallon jugs. They would have them in a display, and we just glued them. Like we glued,
Like, glued them all together?
We glued them on the shelf.
Oh, okay.
Like 5 or 6 of them. We had opened
See,
up a
there's-
super glue. And
There's some harmless pranks you can play at a grocery store or a public place like that. Like, have you ever seen those things where, like, you put $1 on the floor and then it has, like, a clear zip line? And so, like, when somebody goes to pick it up, you just... and the zip line just, like, shoots out. So they're grabbing $1 and then...
I'd be so mad.
Yeah,
bro.
dude, people get mad. And they would tell you,
I
like,
used-
don't do that shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here, you stupid kid.
Give me
Like,
my McChicken.
You know what I mean?
Nah,
That's a
dude.
big chicken on the floor.
There's a lot of other things you could do for entertainment.
Dude, I used to
know.
go. I used to go to
Yes,
this.
but when you're young and you're in your
Yeah.
adolescence,
Okay, fine,
that
fine,
shit's
fine.
funny.
But it's
Sorry.
also good memories, you know.
That's America.
But I
And
do remember
and
going
I'm
to
not
a
gonna be
smoke
sorry
shop.
for living in America.
Not me either.
Oh, hush.
Just kidding. Me either.
Anyways, guys,
Anyways,
reminder: if you guys are sick, stay home.
stay home, yes. Because if not, Lena will come and hunt you down.
No,
She will find you. She will take your kids.
No, I
She will
won't.
take your
Look,
dog.
if
That
you can't
dog.
take a day off, Lena will go and work for you.
Look,
right?
that dog that you love so
Yeah.
much, she'll take it.
Oh,
She'll take everything you have
whatever,
because you didn't stay home when you were sick.
whatever.
Public service announcement sponsored by the Conversing with Chris podcast, episode number 16 with Misa.
What
Hell.
I do.
Anyways, guys, we're going to wind this down. Episode 17 is coming soon. We're previewing that episode today. That's what this is. I want to shout out to Misa again.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you for being on the podcast.
Thanks for
and
having
your
me, man.
continued support.
Yes,
Lena,
sir.
any final words, thoughts, closing arguments, or final statements?
Just let it out.
Be kind and less judgmental, and have a wonderful evening.
So the manners and etiquette podcast featuring Milena Biotis will be dropping on July 28th, 2025. So guys,
make sure to subscribe and like.
guys, be ready for
Oh my
that.
God, I'd be
Also, make sure, like I said, check us out. Facebook at Conversing with Chris, the podcast. Instagram. I don't have an Instagram. I don't know why I said that. Follow us on Facebook. I do have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram, guys. You guys can follow me.
Yeah, it's not a show Instagram, but anyway.
Look me up, guys.
Misa's got an Instagram.
Misa Shisha, I'm up there.
Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for everyone who's been listening. We're coming at you with another episode very soon. It's probably going to be a really good episode. Well, I know it's going to be a really good episode. I don't know why I said that. Misa, any last words for the podcast here?
No, just thanks, man. Don't, like I said, don't forget to listen. All right, if you don't, then we'll come find you guys, give you a lecture about how to be nice.
Yeah, Lena is like a social media detective, so she will locate your exact location at any given point in time. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in again to the Conversing with Chris podcast. This was episode number 16 with Miss L.
Don't forget to stay fresh, people.
Lena, stay fresh. Stay everything else that you guys stay doing, I guess. And shout out, stay home when you're sick. Shout out to Trash Night. Recycle right, by the way. Read your manual. Know what to put in your blue trash can. And we are yeah. Okay. Highway.